Welcome to Business Startup for Boomers. This is the show that brings you inspiration and ideas to start your own boomer business. Here's your hosts, Larry Aarons and Jeff Williams.
Thanks so much, and welcome to Business Startup for Boomers. Give fellow boomers business ideas and inspiration. And I'm just sitting here thinking, Jeff, I hate to say there's never been a better time to start a boomer business, but this is a really good time to start a boomer business. The marketplace is just bulging, and there's so much opportunity out there. Do you see that every day?
I do.
I bet you do. I mean, just talking to you just gets my juices flowing when we talk about all these things. All right, today's episode, we're going to talk about teaching in the consumer sector, and that is a business. Let's talk about that for a little bit, and you've got some examples, Jeff.
I sure do. Great to be with you again, Larry. Let me give you an example of an entrepreneurial friend of mine here in Chicago. Melissa Wilson is her name. Melissa is a very savvy entrepreneur, and she has largely built her business by writing 12 or 13 books over the last 20, 25 years. I remember very clearly when I first met her 25 years ago, she was working on a book called Entrepreneurial Resources in Chicago. It was just a directory. And she just had it published by a little small publisher. It used to be here in Chicago. Well, in recent years, she's had more and more of her books published by some national publishers like Putnam and such. And along the process here, she's learned every little step and technique you need to go from having some unique knowledge to getting it in print. And that is her business. She owns a company called Networlding, networlding.com. And one of her main products that she offers today is a multi-week. This is done by phone and by email. You don't have to actually come to Chicago to do this. But she takes someone who is a quote-unquote knowledge expert, somebody who knows a lot about something really specific, and who wants to write their first book. She works with first-time authors.
Oh.
And there are a lot of very experienced people she deals with.
This is fascinating. And she guides you step by step through the whole process of getting your book written and then published.
Right. She teaches you the basic techniques on everything from how to get the manuscript written to how to work with an editor. And then she segues into, okay, how do you physically get the book ready? How do you get the cover design? How do you get the pages properly laid out and ready to be printed? Today, most publishers, and this is true for me too, I have 4 or 5 books that I published. We use what's called self-publishing today, which means that we really become our own publishers. We don't go to a big publishing house to do this.
Yeah.
And then she teaches you how to market your book, how to get the word out, because every year there are 25,000 new paperback books published in the United States. So you can imagine there's a lot of competition out there.
There is indeed. Yeah, your business itself, BizStarters, is a teaching business, is it not?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what we do. Our virtual incubator program coaches you, but 2 important parts of the coaching is, number one, we teach you new management skills you may never have used, such as how to use email marketing. And we also teach you how to work with outside suppliers and vendors. These are 2 things that a lot of our clients don't have a lot of experience in when they're in the corporate world. So yes, I'm a teacher first and foremost at heart. I've been doing teaching in one form or another since I was 15 years old. My mother was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. So it's kind of a family tradition.
Now, somebody might say, well, the internet, I can look up how to do most anything. And your answer to that is what?
Well, there's 2 reasons that people need more than that. Number one is they get confused by the plenitude of knowledge. There's just too much stuff coming at them. They don't know how to sort through it and look at it with a experienced eye, which you can. And number 2 is the discipline factor. People can read how to do something, but do they actually get around to doing it? That's one of the things that we do in our coaching program is we hold our clients responsible for completing certain work every 7 days. And that's what Melissa does with her new clients. You're on a very tight schedule with her. If she says, okay, I want you to approve the book design that we've gotten for you. It has to come back to us in no more than a week. Well, that's part of what you can't get on your own if you go out and try to do this on the internet. So number one, you're overwhelmed. We help you to cut through all the noise. And number two, we give you the discipline.
Plus, and what you do and what your author friend does is help you avoid those trap doors that you can fall through and make mistakes, and it costs you money and time.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's that worth? It's worth a lot.
Absolutely. So teaching, the key thing is just as with consulting and service and information businesses, you got to sit down and write down, okay, what specifically am I going to teach? And what's it related to? Is it going to be related to the family and family growth? For example, I read recently about a woman in California who's made a very nice business just teaching certain techniques to parents of autistic children.
Wow.
I was a bit depressed to find out how many autistic children there are in the United States. It's hundreds of thousands of them, and there's more being diagnosed every day. But these parents are completely overwhelmed, and this particular individual has a medical training background. She's not an MD, but she has a lot of experience in clinical work with autistic children, and she decided, okay, I'm going to share this. Rather than just share it inside of one hospital or one clinic, I'm going to make it available across the United States and across the world. And she slowly built this teaching company to teach the parents certain techniques on how to deal with their autistic children. Now, obviously, they're highly varied because autistic children come across a full spectrum of behavior. But the point was she took professional skill and knowledge and experience and opened it up in a way that every parent can share with.
Fantastic. If you feel like you have a teaching talent and you want to apply that to the marketplace, this might be a boomer business for you. To help narrow that down or focus your idea, you can book a call with Jeff through BizStarters. He'll give you 30 minutes of his valuable time just to talk to you with no obligation. How do you do that, Jeff?
Just go to BizStarters.com, scroll a little bit down on the homepage, and look for a little accent box that has a link saying book a call with Jeff. Click that. It takes you to my calendar, shows you all the days and times available. Pick a 30-minute time slot that works for you, and we'll talk to each other.
Simple as that. Jeff, thanks for sharing this great information with us today, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Larry.
This has been Business Startup for Boomers with your hosts, Larry Aarons and Jeff Williams. The show that brings you inspiration and ideas to start your own boomer business. See you next time.